Hello, good afternoon everyone. This is Evelina here, and I'm just gonna we'll start in a second. Today I want to talk about emotional reasons behind overweight or keeping the extra weight, and just I'll talk a little bit more also about the connection between mindset and health, or the right weight, specifically as it portrays to the weight, and I'll touch on a couple of other things. So I'm just going to hang out here for a second, check that all the tech is working, and if you're joining me live, make sure you let me know that you are. And I just want to make sure that I will be seeing your comments. So, one second. Comments, yes. Okay, all right, cool. And if you are watching me live, can you please make sure and say hi? And we'll start in just 1 second here. Hope everyone is having a great day. I just want to make sure I'm on the right page and you can see me well, and yes you can, and here I am, and all is well. And I'm just going to be seeing it here. Okay, brilliant. Let me just, okay. I just want to make sure. Oh no, I don't want to hear myself twice. Okay, cool. Okay, so that was a bit loud. I apologize for that. So for those of you who do not know me, my name is Evelina Hovic from evelinahovic.com. I am a mindset and wellness coach, a holistic nutritionist. I focus and specialize on women's health, weight loss, but with a difference, and all things about manifesting your dream body, your dream life. So hit me up with questions and comments if you're coming live, or if you're watching replay, #replay, and feel free to comment as well. So today I really want to talk about the connection between mindset and health, what it means to be healthy, and what are some of the and how our emotional well-being and how our mind is connected to health, because every physiological problem in the body has a psychological connection to it. And yes, sometimes it's like what comes first, the chicken or the egg, and it is all connected in the body, and it is all interrelated, and you cannot really treat one thing without another. However, it starts with your mindset, and I know you may not agree with me, and that's okay. And I'm really open to discussing this further, because after years and experience and lots of learning and lots of work in this, I have seen that is often a missing link. It oftentimes, especially when it comes to weight loss, women go through yo-yo dieting and lots of different ways to lose weight, only to fall off the wagon, put that weight or more again, repeat the cycle, because the emotional aspect is not being addressed. And I can tell you that the happiness about your body and the happiness with where you are does not depend on you reaching that weight. And yes, you may of course be motivated and excited when the weight comes off and you feel better, and that's all good, but it is temporary. It is not going to be consistent and sustainable unless you address the emotional part of it. And we'll talk about this in a second. But just before I go into a little bit of a more details of what specific emotional reasons are behind the keeping on that extra weight, I just want to talk about, just generally speaking, what it means to be healthy. I think with the ease of access of information. Make sure you say hi. I can see somebody and I cannot. Okay, we're just gonna roll with it. So just lost the train of thought because I just dropped something in my office. Anyhow, so yes, with the ease of access to information and social media, there's a rise of a lot of. This is a great thing. It could be a really it's a great thing that we have access to this information, but it also has the kind of the downside of it, because there are a lot of new food disorders are coming up. And yes, we've known about anorexia and other food disorders for quite some time, but with this whole craze, I guess, about eating healthy, the two things I want to address on that. The actual obsession of being healthy, and the second thing about obsession of all those different new superfoods that are coming up. And so there's a term called orthorexia. And what is orthorexia? Is the obsession of being healthy, obsession of eating only the healthy foods and where they come from, what they're made of, who prepared them, where do I get them from, how do I everything, all the ingredients, nitty-gritty things. And also the other part of the definition is the exercise, and being so obsessed with those things that it come actually in the way of your enjoying life and enjoying self. So being healthy does not mean eating kale all day long or chia seeds and and doing the superfood things. If you don't address first of all, your thinking, and also if you don't actually make sure that your life is about joy, and this is the most important thing for you to feel good. And yes, of course, eating healthy will impact how you feel, because it has an impact on your hormones and your the nutritional values and the minerals and vitamins in your body, and all those essential ingredients that we have that we need to provide to our body to function well. But if it does prevent you from enjoying the social events, the connecting with people, having good relationship, if it's you stressing out about getting those organic eggs, and if you can't get those organic eggs, your whole day is falling apart, then you know what? You're not really living your best life. You're not really being healthy, because you are stressed, and that stress is only counterproductive. So just make sure that whatever decisions that you make about healthy eating and healthy exercise and all of this, let it be easy and doable for you, because if you started stressing more about those things, that is not what you want. This is preventing you from achieving your goal. So being healthy does not mean just eating all the best foods, all that organic, preparing everything from scratch, exercising whatever number of, every day or every other day, and doing yoga and drinking this, whatever water. That's not what it means. Being healthy means that, yes, you are full of energy from, when you wake up feeling well and energized. You go throughout your day, you enjoying life, you have good relationships, you enjoying what you're doing during the day, you're looking forward to, what's coming next, you're appreciating life and not stressing about where do I get my organic eggs, so otherwise I'm not going to be able to, go through the day without it. So just that obsession can be very unhealthy. So even though you might thinking, oh well, I'm so on my I'm just gonna get it no matter what. And just generally, I have a very big problem with the expression "I get it no matter what," because no matter what, it's not necessarily worth it. So just allow yourself to really be honest with yourself what is important for you, and allow yourself to simplify your life so that eating healthy and being healthy and exercising healthy fits into your description of your ideal life. And this time takes time and courage to actually be honest with yourself and understand what is really important for me. What is it that I want in life? What makes me feel good? Where are the gaps, or where I can fill in? And even if you just start bringing up a little bit of, new healthier foods, or, reduce your amount of times that you eat out, or you eat processed foods, that's already a huge step forward. But make it enjoyable and feeling good, and make sure you always come back to that. Does it feel good? Am I being honest with myself? Is this something that adds more stress or reduces stress in my life? And that's really, really important. I cannot stress that enough. And the next part, what I want to talk about is specifically as to how the mindset connects to the weight gain, because weight gain or inability to lose weight and the constant struggle. And I have seen so many women losing the weight and being happy how the body looks, and after a little while, and if they're really being honest, the same parts about their body they didn't like, they still don't like. The problems, the emotional issues did not go away. It's not necessarily that it helped their relationships. It's not necessarily that, now their life transformed unless they address the emotional part of it. Now, what comes first is very individual, and it will depend on it will depend on each person, because sometimes losing a little bit of weight and then getting into that, like addressing the mindset, may be helpful, or the other way around. And I'll tell you this, for me personally, the things that worked and I've seen that is being more of a lasting impact is when you address the emotional things first. Now, you may not be ready. We all evolve and progress at our own speed, and each is different. And sometimes what you need is a kick in the butt and stop eating this McDonald's every time you drive from work, or or grabbing that vanilla cappuccino with like loads of processed syrup in the morning from Starbucks. And sometimes you need that kick in the butt to like stop doing this, because if you're honest, you really know that that's not really good for you. But and sometimes you need to address the emotional part first, because when you address the emotional part, then everything else becomes so easier. Then you can address the tools, that you can get to the tools and actionable steps of how to change your eating patterns and how to change your lifestyle patterns much easier and with a different mindset. Because when you get into this, I am really going to have to apologize, because I think we are let me just hope that this phone call, sorry, I'm just expecting a really important phone call, and I didn't know when I was going to come in. We're expecting a technician, TMI guys, but this is real life. So if they're going to call again, I'm going to try and answer that, and I'm going to apologize for this. So anyways, so the emotional part, when you address the emotional part, and when you approach changes that you need to make with excitement and self-love, those changes are so much easier to implement. They're so much easier to carry on with, to become, they become like just a normal part of your life, as opposed to that kind of struggle. So when it comes to specifically about the weight, some of the things that are preventing women to lose weight consistently, they go through this yo-yo cycle, something like suppressed emotions. I'm talking about specifically about weight. There are different reasons for different diseases or challenges that, health challenges. But specifically when it comes to weight, it's often about suppressed emotions. It's often about guilt and shame that we carry, trying to cover up the hurt, sometimes abuse, sometimes carrying other people's problems. And when you imagine, this is so interesting when you look at that side of things, like carrying other people's problems would actually, make that's the weight, that's the literal weight and metaphorical weight that you carry on you. It's also the feeling of not being good enough, not deserving good things in your life, and not being good enough. I can't tell you how many women feel not good enough in one or other area in their lives. It's scary. And this is, we could be talking about reasons why this is happening, but at the end of the day, this is upbringing, parenting, different, sometimes the teacher must have said something that happened in, school, grade school, whatever. There could be so many different reasons, but and now in adulthood, you don't feel adequate enough or good enough in sometimes many areas of your life, or generally and one area really will reflect other areas as well. And that not feeling good enough can impact your inability to lose weight. Feeling stuck in life is one of the other reasons, and just pushing yourself with food or eating your emotions. And you know what? I know I talk a lot about emotions and the whole, how the food and how we manage food, especially in my group programs and definitely in my individual coaching as well. But we often eat our emotions. Feeling angry, and this is a cultural thing, by the way. It's quite common to, from advertisement, from TV, from whatever, media. You're not feeling good enough, or you had a tough day. Have a glass of wine, have a piece of cake. Open a tub of ice cream when you broke up with your boyfriend. All of those things that are, instead of actually addressing what it really bothers you, connecting with people that can help you, or not eating at all. Like once, if you have something challenging in your life, many women just go absolutely with no food, and suddenly they lose a lot of weight. But then again, this is not sustainable. This is neither necessarily healthy, and not something that's going to stay off, because as soon as something that gets a little bit better, we go back to the same patterns. So working on those things, that on your enoughness, on your taking care of your stuff, but not carrying the weight of other people, because other people problems are other people problems. And by not allowing them to take responsibility for their own problems and trying to carry that weight on you, you actually disempowering them, from feeling in power of sorting out their own issues. So by releasing that, acknowledging their problems, acknowledging, being compassionate, listening, being a good friend, that's all there. But carrying that weight on you is a whole different story. And those are the things that will prevent you from sustainable weight loss. And I say will because in most cases that can, but of course, it may be, everybody is different. The personalities are different, your biology is different, your psychology, of course, is very different. This is what makes life so interesting, because we're all so unique. But those are the things that, if you're just really being honest with yourself and saying where, if you are struggling with weight loss, or achieving that ideal lifestyle, ideal body, wearing the clothes that you want to be wearing, looking at other women on social media and just making you feel like shit, then address those things and see where in my life I'm not allowing myself to have the good things. Where in my life I'm not loving myself enough. Where in my life I'm carrying other people's problems. Where in my life I could love myself more. Where is it that I don't feel good enough? Because you are good enough. You are so good enough. Every one of you has a really amazing gift to give, an amazing personality, amazing character, and we all human beings connect on that desire to be loved, accepted, heard, and accepted. Did I say accepted? But before you can accept and love yourself honestly, this is not something that's going to be easy for you in life, because once you do, oh my God, the world around you just changes and transforms. So, and one more thing, I'm just looking at my notes because I drafted a couple of notes before I get on live. And the other thing that to do with weight loss is that keeping that weight for protection, and that could be different types of protection that you're searching for in life, some sort of security blanket. So all of those things are there, and once you start addressing those, and once you start looking into those and not focusing on the actual weight, you will see that the weight will be coming off much easily without you necessarily even doing much about it. And yes, not saying that you're just going to be, eating tubs of ice cream every day, because that's just lying to yourself. But once you get onto that, I love myself, I am good enough, then naturally things will be shifting in your life, not just with other people, but the foods that you're going to be more inclined to eat, the foods you're going to be craving more, they're going to change. Things are going to be changing in your life once you address your emotional well-being. And this is why when I say the health starts with mindset, this is exactly what I mean by that. So hopefully you find this information useful, and that kind of maybe was a light bulb moment, or something that at least made you think and curious about that connection. And let me know what you think. Otherwise, this is my regular 2 p.m. on Thursday Facebook Live. I'm here every week, so come and join me next time, and have a wonderful rest of the day and a weekend, and I will see you next week. Bye for now.